They were doing some mountain biking this weekend at Trowbridge Park. That's for the annual Shuniah 40 Minor hosted by the Black Sheep Mountain Bike Club. It was held yesterday. The event, now in its 4th year, continues to grow with a record number of riders participating this time around.
3, 2, 1, go! 2019 40 Minor underway!
From the experienced riders competing in the grueling 48-kilometer race to the young kids in the 5K mini minor, the 4th annual Shuniah 40 Minor was the biggest one yet. 135 mountain bikers competing across 4 different categories, all with the same thought as they crossed the finish line.
I haven't beat.
It feels good. I feel very tired.
Bit of relief. Yeah, the legs were starting to cramp up by the end.
That fatigue is understandable. Colin Penzawal blew away the field in the marquee 48-kilometer event, finishing in 2 hours, 23 minutes, nearly 7.5 minutes ahead of his nearest competitor.
So I was able to make a bit of a gap off the first lap there, which was nice. And from that point on, I just trying to keep it consistent and keep that gap growing just slightly every single lap. And hopefully the legs had it in it for the end, which they did just.
As the first female across the finish line in the 24-kilometer race, Brooke Ailey was also physically spent afterwards. But for her, overcoming the mental challenge was the biggest factor in her 1 hour, 25-minute finish.
I just kind of rode my own race. I just tried to stay calm. It's a long distance, so just to ride smooth. I felt I wasn't making very many mistakes. I was just staying good and calm, and I thought that was important.
She crossed just over 11 minutes behind top overall finisher Jonathan Watley, who says the wet conditions after days of rain in the area made this year's race even tougher than usual.
The water and the mud and all that hasn't had time to evaporate, so it's just kind of sank into the ground, and there's really slick patches. And then the mud gets caught in your tire, and then you find a route, and if it's just at the wrong angle, your back tire or your front tire even, you'll just slip out and you'll have to put your foot down, or you might fall completely, and then you lose precious seconds.
But it made his victory even more enjoyable.
That was a really fun race.
That's music to the ears of race director Eric Bailey, who says new riders are joining up to participate in the sport every year.
The sport has got a lot of momentum in town right now. The Trail Development Committee for Black Sheep has been doing tons of work, so with better trails, more people are riding, and our events are more sort of professionally run, and so people love coming to an organized event and riding the awesome trails. So it's got a lot of momentum, especially the young kids.